And welcome back. Today we are going to be flying out the Lim-5p, and to serve for background noise in the first 2 minutes of this game, or in this video, we are going to look at someone that you will come across pretty often. And I don't mean this player specifically, I mean people in Supersonics that simply refuse to fight you. This guy has been circling already for about 14 minutes and he doesn't want to engage. So I'm just going to give him my 6. And we are in an F5 basically. The Lim-5 is basically a Shenyang without the missiles, with a 23 instead of a 37 and a radar in the nose. Other than that, they are identical. So I get this guy on my 6 and we're going to try to get this guy slow, maybe commit, maybe do something. Nice invisible missile. It renders in way too late, and the second he breaches 1 kilometer, he instantly breaks off. And this is just so damn frustrating because all of the guys that you face will do this. And I get it. You need to be careful. But when you just start going to 15 kilometers in your F104 to drag out a match, even though you did almost nothing yourself, you're just wasting everyone's time, and it's something that you have to deal with so often in this thing. No one wants to fight you. 10.0, 9.7, those BRs are not fun. 8.7 to 9.3, this thing is completely fine. Even 9.7, you can deal with some of the enemy vehicles. But I don't play this game to grind prolonged matches and get maybe 10% more RP in a single match. I play this game to kill people, and please do take that out of context. And because we are so petty, this guy gets himself caught by a Shenyang. Not sure how he managed, but we're just gonna hose him down. And then we are going to kill him both in game and then also in the chat. So the main issue that I had with this vehicle is simply the compression, which is both in terms of the plane, the elevators, the ailerons, but also just the BR compression. And I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'd rather just talk about the gameplay. We all know that these jet BRs are just unbalanced as all hell, because you are either completely dominant, and if you get up tiered at all, you are essentially useless. You are not going to be doing much against Supersonics. You can dodge them all day long, but they can just run this infinite train on you until they finally get a shot in, and it's very frustrating. So for you today, I start off with the actual fun gameplay, the one where you get a favorable matchmaker, but this is the only time I've actually gotten it. This is the last game I did. I got this game and I thought, okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna make the video now because I'm just losing my mind. I was not having a good time. I've been getting killed by Gepards. I've been shot by Rolands through mountains. I've been killed by the infamous A10 horde. If there's 2 or 3 A10s next to each other, God forbid more, there is just very little you can really do there. You don't have countermeasures. And what ends up happening is one of them is always going to get an angle on you. Dealing with 1, even 2, pretty doable. The AIM-9Ls are not too crazy to dodge, because you know they kind of handle like the AIM-9Gs or the AIM-9Ds, where they overlead a little bit, and if you then pull in, it's relatively easy to dodge an AIM-9L. The problem is when there's a lot of them, one A10 is always going to have an angle on you, and it is just certain dead. So I will not be showing you too much of that, because it just ends in me dying or me trying to find an opening that simply is not there. But right into the gameplay. We head on someone, trying to find a target without compressing too much, and then we see a lightning as well as a J-35. The J-35 is going up, and he is my prime target. I see 3 guys in front of me. I don't really care about them. If I can kill this A4 in the meantime, I'll gladly take it. But that J-35 was my only thing that I wanted to get out of that furball. Now I killed 2 Supersonics in a pretty quick succession, and this is going to help the game an awful lot. If nothing can catch you, you are pretty damn competitive. And right now, there is not much around here that can really contest us. We have the F2, which is pretty dangerous, an A4E, another A4E that's off the screen, and then there's the F86K. The F86K is one of the worst planes that you can fly at this time. It's an even higher BR than this thing, and it's just straight up worse than the F2 Sabre. Pretty funny, isn't it? So we are looking around at this very moment, seeing who to engage. I also know that there is a guy unspotted, and I don't really know where he is right now, so I don't really feel like throwing this match. So I'm trying to look around, trying to see who I can actually pick off. A3 coming head on. I figured I'd try to get another shot in. We shoot way too high, and we just go up and over. My F2 there is not actually my main target here. And why is that? Because the F2 is actually the best plane over there, and I've been meeting him 2 or 3 times today. He holds his speed. He doesn't let himself get killed very easily. I'm not sure how good he is, but at least he has some discipline, making it so that it's actually pretty annoying to kill him. So I'm actually just gonna kind of just fly around him, leave him alone, and see if I can pick off the guys around him. I do not mind dogfighting an F2 if it's 1v1. The thing is, if I start dogfighting a F2 and there's also 3 A4s around, that's a very likely chance that I'm just going to die. One of the A4Es is trying to pitch up for us. He's going to lose a lot of speed doing that. The A4E has horrible retention. So we loop down, we get on his 6, and he's at very low airspeed right now, and we just hold the trigger down and we gun him down. I tried to turn a little bit quick with the flaps because I did not want him to, well, get away, but I ripped him off, which is a little bit of a hindrance, but it doesn't end up biting us in the ass. The F2 starts engaging someone else, and I see the A4E here, so instead I'm gonna be engaging this one. He tries to pull in, he's a little bit too late however, so he managed to take his wingtip off. I didn't actually see that at the time, I just knew that I got a crit. And he is gonna go into the ground sooner or later, and I'm thinking about giving him a little bit of an extra push just to get him killed, but not sure. We just completely whiffed the shot, a little bit of underlead, so we just go up and over, we secure him, but then he jays out, which is much appreciated, and we start flying over there to help Runa with the F86K. Now the F86K is not really that big of a threat. The F86K does not turn very well. It rolls decently well. It absolutely guzzles fuel, forcing you to take more fuel, making it perform even worse. And the guns are not even that great. They are not the same guns as the F2. They have a very low rate of fire. And just everything together makes this plane pretty damn bad. I'm not too sure how this thing is 9.3. But we get on the 6 relatively easily. We now have 2 guys on his 6. The F17 actually, or F27 actually gives me some room. I shoot, he rolls out, he starts air braking, and that's the only redeeming quality of the F86K, and that's the roll rate. But if you take his wingtip off, he might roll a little bit better, but it starts becoming a little bit uncontrollable. Thank you SU7 for not actually stealing that kill. And then there's 2 more guys on the runway, the F2 and another A4E, but the F2 leaves another game. I met him before too, and I wanted to 1v1 him. He just left, and then the A4E sneaks all the way around me to full commit an SU7. A little bit boring, but you know, it is what it is. So, a few games later, we are again up tiered. That's actually a few games earlier, because the first game was the last game I played in it. We get an F13 on our 6, we just kind of stall him out, we go horizontal, we try to conserve a little bit of our speed. And we are just going to try to get him as slow as we can. I noticed that he's actually even slower than I anticipated, so we pull the air brake back in. And we are just going to keep him straight, so that the AV8s on his 6 can very easily shove a missile up his ass. And there he goes. Very quick work of that F13 that thinks about trying to dogfight me. It's simply not going to happen. So for now we are just going to be flying straight and see if we can actually find someone, because the entire enemy team right now is still live. But we have no idea where anyone is. There is someone right below us. It's actually a lot of guys right below us, but at this very moment it feels like I'm playing a horror game, and I'm just waiting to get slammed by a random missile that I had no idea was even coming near me. So I'm looking around, I'm trying to find someone, and then I see a dot over here, and I'm not too sure if it's an actual player or if it's a bot. But then I see a Harrier on the deck, and I thought, well, I see a Harrier, most likely it's a GR1. We also see him in the kill feed right now. And I thought it was the same one, so I wanted to get him out of the match, because Harrier GR1s are actually the most annoying thing you can face in this thing. Because, well, if they get anywhere near your 6 and they fire that missile within a kilometer, you are just dead, and there's nothing you are gonna be doing about it. So we dive in. I saw his flight pad, I saw what he's in, and I'm predicting he was gonna end up exactly here but a little bit lower, and I completely lost him. And it's actually because we predicted his flight path so well that we ended up directly on top of him, and I wasn't looking straight down, so I completely missed the fact that he was there. So we start diving in now, because it's a Harrier GR1, at least as far as we are concerned. And I am trying to just catch him right now and see if I can gun him down real quick. The Harrier is completely occupied with trying to kill AI, and I'm not too sure what he's trying to do here. He probably doesn't even have an idea that I'm right on the 6. Keep checking R6 however, because we don't want to fall into the same trap as this Harrier is finding himself in. And we are just on the 6. All we have to do now is wait for a shot, wait for him to start getting distracted. And the second I see him pitch up, I know that he's probably zooming in. So I'm just going to hold the trigger down. My aim is sometimes a little bit bad. And I'm trying to get a shot in here. We actually just compressed too much. We don't have enough lead. I thought I did. I thought I was going a little bit slower because I'm used to the min fuel MiG-17, which is slightly lighter. And of course, without the extra fuel, it's even lighter on top of it. And then you probably could have been able to pull into that shot. I wasn't able to. I started squeezing the trigger, and there was no way that we are actually going to connect those rounds. But hey, a man can dream. So now I have a MiG-21S as well as the MiG-17 here. And then there's an A5 quite far behind us. But he's also trailing, and he's very clearly going for us. So I dropped the afterburner so it at least decreases our heat signature a little bit. And we throttle back up because I don't want to compress on top of the fact that we become very hot. So we look around, we have a MiG-17 here, we go head on. I shoot just too low, a little bit around him. But bad shot nonetheless. And this MiG-17 is definitely on min fuel. He is turning up quite a bit faster, but I'm not going to reverse my turn. I'm just going to keep him on me, just to make sure that that AV-8 gets a very easy shot in. MiG-21 comes back in, we dodge him, and then the A5 is also busy with the F2. So now we should be able to clean this up relatively quickly. And I'm just trying to see who I want to kill first. It's going to be the A5 because he might still have some magics on, which is something I don't really feel like fighting right now. So the A5 goes down, we set up two guys, he is crit, he's probably going to get stolen. F2 gets crit here, or the F2 gets a crit on him. He goes into a flat spin. I'll just let him crash. And he will actually get the kill for it, which is relatively nice. MiG-21S is pulling lead on us. He also goes for the F2. Big mistake on his end, because he's now going to be way too slow. Should have gone for me instead of the F2. But hey, it doesn't really matter. He's too slow to do anything. So we take his wingtip. We crit it at least. And he should tumble into the ground by himself eventually. And down goes the MiG-21. Only 3 kills, but we also helped our team out a little bit. And this is the kind of gameplay you need to expect. You need to really be aware of who to kill. You need to pick your targets well. You need to know that supersonics are just an absolute pain in the ass. And you want to get those guys out of the match at the start, when they're still busy, when they're dogfighting people, when they get distracted. And if they are fighting someone else, you are a perfect third party tool. You are pretty slow, relatively speaking, and you turn extremely well, making it so that if you catch one of those supersonics out, very big chance you are going to kill it. But you still want to be careful, and I want to show you why exactly in this game, the last one of today. It's one of the first ones that I played. We have a J35 here and an AV-8, and I go for the J35 because it's a J35, as well as the fact that he was in a more safe spot so that it wouldn't put me in danger of the AV-8. The AV-8 then pulls right in front of me, so we're just going to squeeze the trigger. Down he goes. Then I think about going for the J35, but I do need to be careful. I'm only going 700 here. We are in the middle of the map, and this is the start of the video. So we need to make sure that we don't get third partied or fifth partied at the start of the match by 4 guys in the AV-8. So we just kind of extend out, and we see if we can set up the J35 to go for us, so that the MiG-21 or something else on the 6 can easily gun him down. He does not. He is very much committed to go for us, so we are going to pull up and over and see if we can energy trap him. If he takes the fight with us, he should be a very easy kill for the rest of my team. Instead, he goes for the AV-8, tries to shoot an M9B at him. He's really committed to this, to kill this guy. He doesn't actually get a shot in. J35 then starts the turn, gives full broadside. We managed to connect one of our shots. He is crit, not sure what it was, but hey, damage on the J35 is always good, because the J35 flies appallingly bad if you have any type of wing damage. So that's a good start. We might be able to put him into a flat spin later on in the game if we have to dogfight him at lower speeds, but that's for later on. That's all I'm thinking about right now. So we keep looking around. We don't want anyone behind us, especially when you are compressing. T2 coming in, so we fly up and over, we dodge his gun. And then I see a lot of A10s, and I don't really feel like dealing with those right now. But they're also kind of alone on this side of the map, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them towards me in the hope that they won't kill my team. This guy is getting missiles from behind, so I'm going to go head on until I get pretty close. Just so that he doesn't pay attention behind him, and he gets missiles from behind just as planned. Looking around, the T2 is now going for us as well as the Milan. I know there's a teammate diving in, it was an A5C, and I'm just going to keep these guys somewhat level. I'm going to pull them up a little bit, and I'm going to guess that he's just going to magic both of them. He actually misses the second one. No big deal, it's only a T2, but I did set myself up in a way that I didn't really want to be in, because the T2 is having a little bit of position on me here. and he might end up getting his guns on us. As long as this guy doesn't break off and run away, we should be completely fine. And there's the J35 right below us. It's the one we crit earlier. So I'm not too worried that he's going to pitch up for us, but I do want to make sure that he doesn't actually do so. So the second I see the T2 run away from us, I'm going to make sure that this J35 dies right here, so we don't end up getting third party by him. I go towards the T2 for a little bit extra, just to push him away and see if he doesn't actually want to recommit on us. But he does, he's just playing it safe. And the J35 is now trying to dodge us. He's losing a lot of speed, he pulls right ahead of us, and we just click him out of the air. T2 dive on us. And again, we are just in a little bit of a bad spot here. We should win the fight. Prolonged, no big deal. But he's in a position here that he can break off at any time and simply run away from us. He could have done it right there. He doesn't. He pulls back in. I get a very good shot, but he just rolls out of the way and I'm not able to get my guns back on. If he does it again, he dies, but instead he's going to fly straight and he's going to run away. He's just too fast for me. I'm underleading my guns and he's dodging, he's paying attention, so this is not going to happen. This ship has sailed. Do one more pop shot. We don't manage to connect. He is going to be running back to base. And we are going to be engaging the A10. And what's a better way to engage the A10 than with a lot of terrain around? Because when you don't have to even worry about him firing a missile at you, it becomes a lot easier to dodge. So I'm going to go a little bit higher here. I want to bait him into this head-on, and then I want to dive into this river valley here. And well, close the gap of the last 2 to 3 kilometers by just not giving him an angle. So we go up and over. He doesn't have a shot, he has to fly through the valley. Then we see that he only has one wing, but he is definitely going to RTB. And if he was flying with 2 wings, I mean, I denied every kind of lock on him, every kind of firing solution, and he's just going to fly straight. Even if he was fine, there is nothing he's going to be doing. I shoot a bit around him, I shoot a bit through him, and we managed to crit him. And he is going to be the last kill of the match, because the F100 as well as the T2 are both going to die, as I am going to be RTB. F100 is going to be coming in here pretty quickly, so we are going to do the same thing here, and I hope that we can maybe bait him into a dogfight, but it's likely not going to happen, because well, it's an F100, and an F100 should not try the dogfight with the Lim-5. A lot of you guys will try it, but I tried to break the line of sight with the mountains, hoping that he would turn up and over. He didn't, he's going to go RTB. We are going to do the same, just to get some extra fuel into the tank. And then as I start rolling off the runway, both of these guys start dying. I should have just stayed around their runway if I wanted more kills. But alas, the A5C killed both of them in the end. And that's it. Have a nice weekend. See you in the next one.